Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Really? Read. Okay, you asked that question yesterday. You asked the question. The text here says that if a sleeping person passes water, then we'll say his tayammum also breaks. So your question was a sleeping person, obviously his wudu breaks. But remember, not all sleep breaks wudu. If a person sleeps in such a manner that his maq'ad, his palm is firm on the ground. Remember, there's two opinions there. Right. So remember, there's two opinions here. One is that if you're leaning on something and the thing is pulled away, then your wudu break. That is a more strict opinion. But the more liberal opinion is even if that thing will fall away, but if your bum is firmly planted on the ground, then your wudu will not break. That the fatwa is on that one. Although the other one is also mentioned in Kuduri. In Kuduri it says if you're leaning on something and it's pulled away, right, then your wudu will break. It's a more strict opinion. But the other opinion is this here. Even if you're leaning on something, it will be pulled away. But if your bum is firmly planted on the ground, then your wudu won't break. So this text here, which speaks about a sleeping person passing water, is referred to that instance where the person was sleeping, but his palm was firmly on the ground, so his wudu did not break as a result of that. But because he had hukman that he physically never had access to the water because he was asleep. But hukman, technically speaking, the water was there. He could use the water. The inability was due to some apathy from his side. So we'll say there is wijdanima. As a result of that, his wudu will also be danified, right? So that was the last one. Yeah, I'll just read it again for you. Just goes here. It goes. حتى لو مر النائم المتيمم على الماء بطل تيممه. So we're saying, if you obviously, if he says such a sleep where his maqad was on the ground, and as you pointed out correctly, his wudu is broken. But yeah, he was standing and sleeping, right? Once there was a man, I don't know how far this through, he used to help us on the farm. He used to say when you go to England, there's such a scarcity of space in that. And there's like there's certain places where if you want to sleep, they have a line. They put a line out and you hang on the line for the night and you pay a nominal fee and you sleep on that line in the morning. They retract the line. So the cheapest accommodation you can get. So I'm just thinking, if you sleep like that, you don't break. You're hanging on something yourself. Saying, so that's what his thing was. See there again. حتى لو مر النائم المتيمم على الماء بطل تيممه والمراد okay that's separate. والمراد ما يكفي للوضوء لأنه لا مؤثر بما دونه ابتداء وكذا انتهاء. They saying there when finding water, if you find so much water which is sufficient for make wudu, then that will nullify wudu. Why? Because that was the same amount that required that allowed you and facilitated you to make wudu. Let's carry on. Yeah. So I did explain a little bit about this. I told you, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Before we look at the text, I'll just recap what I told you. I told you if you got a natural ground, right, and some najasan came, you saw the dog urinating there, you saw the man urinating there, né? Then after the sun dries it up, you can read salat on there, right? Why? Because I told you there's a clear hadith that says, Taharatul ardi yubsuha, that the cleansing of the ground is drying. So you can read salat on there. You even with your own eyes, here we're speaking about natural ground, not speaking about carpet or like a concrete floor. We're speaking about the natural ground. That when the disaster came on there, you saw it with your own eyes. Then just by it drying out, it becomes pure. And I told you the hadith, Tahar to already yubsuha. But if the dog urinated there, the man urinated there, whatever, but it was not washed with the rain and even dried, You can read salah, but you can't make tayammum. Why you can't make tayammum? Here's the reasons. Two reasons. See there. وَلَا يَتَيَمَّمُ إِلَّا بِصَعِيدٍ طَاهِرٍ. You will not make tayammum except with pure earth. Why? لأن الطيبة. What is the word? فتيمموا صعيدا طيبا. What's the word? فتيمموا صعيدا طيبا. لأن الطيبة, because pure, what does mean by this? طيب means أريد به الطاهر. طيب means something which is pure, right? So this is, like according to, I mentioned to you several times, Sahib Hidayah, he first brings a naqli dalil, then a aqli dalil. He brings a textual evidence, and this is textual evidence from the Quran. Then he brings a logical proof. He saying, look here, the whole purpose of tayammum is to get the heart. It is to be pure, right? Now, how can you use a najis earth to become pure? Logically, it doesn't make sense. وَلِأَنَّهُ آلَةُ التَّطْهِيرِ. The ground here becomes an instrument of what? Of purification. فَلَا بُدَّ مِنْ طَهَارَتِهِ فِي نَفْسِهِ. So, the ground must also be pure. فَلَا بُدَّ مِنْ طَهَارَتِهِ. It's necessary في نفس itself كالماء. Like how when you make wudu, you have the water must, the wudu must, the water must be pure. You cannot make uh, wudu with najis water. It defeats the purpose. You putting najasat upon, you putting najasat hakiki upon najasat hukmi. Okay, read the next hadith. يرجوه أن يؤخر الصلاة إلى آخر الوقت فإن وجد الماء توضأ فإلا تيمم وصلى Okay, interesting. مصلحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويستحب لعادم الماء وهو يرجوه أن يؤخر الصلاة إلى آخر الوقت. Remember I told you before that if I want to read Salat now, and right now the conditions of Tayammum are found, that is within a radius of 1.8 kilometers, there's no water. I don't have to wait to say I'm traveling. It maybe as I travel a bit further, we'll find water. When I travel further, we're going to get the Shell Ultra Cities. You know, here in South Africa, we get the Shell Ultra Cities where they have the restaurant or the engine or whatever. I don't have to do that. Now, right now, there's no water, so the conditions are found. So I can make my tayammum. Right. So whilst it is permissible to make the tayammum, but if there's a hope, look here, some, for example, Zohar time comes out at 3 o'clock, right? And I think we, inshallah, if we carry on and we push now, by about 20 to 3, we'll make it by the Shal Ultra. We'll make it. So if there's hope that you're going to get water before the exit time of Salah, right? There's hope you'll get water before the exit time of Salah. Then it is mustahab to wait. Because obviously, reading Salah with a proper taharat is better. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what he's saying there. ويستحب it is مستحب لعادم الماء. عادم الماء means عدم يعدم, absent, the one who does not have. It's mustahab for the person who does not have water, right? And وهو يرجوه, is hoping to get the water. I told you, inshallah, we'll make it to the Al-Shal Altara before the time comes out, and we will be comfortable. We will go to make wudu. أن يؤخر الصلاة, that he delay الصلاة إلى آخر الوقت, to the last time, right? فإن وجد الماء يتيمم. And then when he comes to the last time, like this 15 minutes there before the time comes out, if he finds the water, mashallah, nurun ala nur. But wa illa, but if there's no water, that means the conditions for tayammum are still prevalent. Wa illa, tayammama wa salla. He will make tayammum and he will read his salah. So now here in this ibadah, they're explaining why it's better to delay. Right? Why is it better? ليقع الأداء بأكمل الطهارتين, so that the discharging of the salah will take place with the most complete of the two taharat. What is the two taharat? One is the taharat of tayammum and one is the taharat of water. So that it must take place with the complete taharat, which is water. Right? Carry on. Yeah. So it's same like the one who hopes for Jama'at. What he's saying here is, this is a very important masla. a person must his Jamaat. And maybe he went to the masjid, whatever, and he see now he missed his Jamaat. Then he hopes to look in our way so that somebody else will come in here and I can make Jamaat with him. Maybe another late comer will come. Or maybe even the person by the house. Then his wife has gone out shopping. His wife has gone out shopping. So he hopes that he will be back before the exit time of Zohr. That I can make Jamaat with her. So here they say like this. It's not farz or it's not wajib that you must wait for the person to make Jamaat. Like how they, it was not necessary that you must wait till you find the water. You must wait. If you read your salat with your tayammum, fine, no problem. But better to wait. So same thing here. It's not necessary that you must delay your salah till um, you find somebody for Jamaat, and if you don't find somebody just before the exit time, now you read your Salah. No, if you read it now, fine, Alhamdulillah. But if you are ready, if you hope that before the exit time you will find somebody for Jamaat, then you wait for him. So I was telling you this Masla is also important Masla that if a person, that's why the ulama mentioned, if a person go to the masjid and you miss the Jamaat and you see Salat over, you wait there to get somebody. There's no hope of somebody getting the hadith. It's quite explicit and clear that you rather go home and make jama'at with your family, you read with your wife, you read with your children, etc. Right? So that's important. Sometimes, you go on suffer, sometimes you go on holiday or something, and then each one is reading the salah on their own. You think, I know that I'm not by the masjid, so jama'at is not necessary. To make jama'at under all these circumstances is very laudable and very rewardable. So we should keep this in mind, inshallah. Carry on. Yeah. See, now this is what an Abi Hanifata is also narrated from Imam Abu Hanifa wa Abi Yusuf and Imam Yusuf في غير رواية الأصول in besides the riwayat of usul. What is the usul? I explained you several times. Usul refers to what? The six main kitabs, the most authentic kitabs, what is Jam al-Kabir, Jam al-Saghir, Sir al-Kabir, Sir al-Saghir, al-Mabsut, and Ziyadat. So that is the most authentic one, and this is normally the fatwa is on. So, but any other book besides this, like what I told you, Haruniyat, Kaisaniyat, Imam Sufar's kitab, which is on the second tier. So in there, it's mentioned that Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Yusuf says, أن التأخير حتم. When you hope to find water, you have to wait for the water. You cannot read your salah finish. But I told you, obviously, the fatwa is not on the ghair usul. The default fatwa of the mazhab is upon the usul. And within the usul also, the default fatwa is on Imam Abu Hanifa. But that you will do, inshallah, when you do the iftar course, you'll do more about it. And here's the reasoning for the riwayat. لأن غالب الرأي كالمتحقق. When you have ghalib al your predominant thought, then that is considered to be what must be taken. Like, same thing. If you're reading Salah, you're confused about the rakat, etc., or you confused about your wudu, what your predominant thought is, that will go. That will be your point of reference. So they're saying same thing here, according to this, the ghair, now, you can say it's also called nawadir. Ghair usul is called the nawadir, ne? So according to this nawadir riwayat, that you are pretty certain that you are to get water. So it is your point of reference. It is like it's easy that you will get the water, so you must, right? Right. So that was the reasoning. But we're coming back now to the what you call it, to the Zahiri, right? What is Wajhu Zahiri? The reason for the Zahiri, right, is أن الإجز ثابت حقيقة, that now I want to read my salat now. And right now, the conditions of tayammum are found. So, if the condition of tayammum, like you say, I'm hungry now, I want to eat now, can't wait till later. The same thing here. The conditions are found now for tayammum. So, أن الإجزاء ثابت حقيقة, it is in reality found now. فلا يزول حكمه, so its hukam will not be taken away إلا بيقين مثله, except with something similar to that. So there must be a strong proof as there's no water now. There must be similar strong or stronger proof to say there is water now. Then we say you can't make tayammum. That's what I'm saying. So here the proof of tayammum is so strong that the hope of what will come in future is not good enough to take this thing away or undo this to undo this what you call it here, right? This certainty. So to remove this certainty, you may have a similar certainty, and you don't have a similar certainty. All you have is the hope of getting water in the future. Understood that? So فلا يزول الحكم إلا بيقين مثله. Then he saying ويصلي بالتيمم ما شاء من الفرائض والنوافل. متيمم. Then for that you stretch over two salah times, three salah times, stuff like wudu. So Imam Shafi says no, that this tayammum it will only last one salah time, and also you can only read one farz. So what he's saying is, if I make tayammum and I read my zohr now, and I want to make a of another salah, I have to make another tayammum for it because it is, you can say it is a supplementary thing. It is a naib. So when the necessity is there, it comes into action. When the necessity is not there, it fades away. You understand what I'm saying? ويصلي بتيمم ما شاء من الفرائض والنوافل. So we say you can read Quran, Nafa, whatever, anything. وإن الشافعي يتيمم لكل فرض. You will make tayammum for every farz. So in that time, you have to make another farz, you make another tayammum. Or if you want to, for example, uh, go into the next salat time, you have to make another tayammum again, right? لأنه طهارة ضرورية, because according to him, it's just a necessary thing. And you say الضرورة تتقدر بقدر الضرورة. If something is born out of necessity, it will be restricted to necessity. ولا لأنه ضروري حال عدم الماء. We say, look at this, is a cleansing in the condition of عدم الماء, when there is no water. فيعمل عمله ما بقي شرقه. ما بقي شرق, so as long as there was no water there, it will continue to have the property of tahuriyat, and you will be able to make any ibadah as you want to. Anyway, this maybe we'll just expand upon this again. So this we'll discuss again Monday, inshallah. Now we will switch over to the tafsir, inshallah. The same, the normal intention, like we told you, you must make intention of tahara or istibah of salah. That I'm making this. And we remember we discussed this, to make intention for such a ibadat that cannot be done without salat, I mean without taharat, and that's also fine. But this book here got, must just check here, Fiqh al got some nice detail with regard to this here. In fact, Hidayah is supposed to be a detailed book, but the Fiqh al actually got more details about that, what I'm discussing with you. I don't think so. That's not what it is in the kitab. So long as you make intention that I'm making this yet, I'm making tayammum so that I can read my faraz zor namaz, then it's supposed to take you right through. Till the wuzu break. Or till, yeah, I don't think that is right. But there is nice, ironically, that is a smaller book, but it's got more details on this. Yeah. So it's just a question. So if you perform salah with tayammum and immediately thereafter you want to recite Quran, you have to perform another tayammum? No, not according to the Hanafi Mazhab. According to the other Hanafi Mazhab, tayammum is a replacement for wudu. So exactly as you treat your wudu, that you once you make wudu, you can keep that wudu for the whole day, the whole night. You can do whatever ibadat you want to. It doesn't break. Yes, there is some restrictions according to Shafi Madhab. But anyway, this whole text again, we'll do it again Monday. We'll build more upon it, inshallah. Now it's the time, inshallah. Subhanallah wa bihamdih.